Hey guys, thank you for taking the time out of your day to come see this presentation. Today we'll be talking about interpersonal skills, the interpersonal skills project with a focus in communicating groups. So a little bit more of what is communicating in groups. So communicating in groups is basically having your voice heard in social gatherings or career gatherings, making sure you're putting input in whatever conversation is happening around your surroundings. It's fairly difficult with some people who are introverted, like myself. I find it a little bit more difficult to voice my opinion when it comes to speaking in public in a social gathering, especially if I don't know some of these people. I get a little bit more anxious. But it's like the complete 360 when it comes to business wise. So, career opportunity, I'm very comfortable giving presentation and giving feedback and putting in my opinion. So, it's like a double edged sword in a sort of way. And you want to just be able to, you want to be able to execute those skills in an appropriate way. That way you build an effective communication skill. A little bit about me. So how this project started is we started off with a self assessment test. So what this is we take or I took a self assessment test and kind of ask you basic questions like, do you prefer working in groups or alone? Do you prefer being in a time crunch and questions like that. And overall, like based on the experience I've had and project that I've done, I thought I did really good. And then I got my results. And this was one of the areas, the communicating in groups, where I seem to have scored the lowest. And it came to a shock to me because, again, I'm really, as far as career wise, I'm very good with speaking in public, and when projects come up, I'm very good at voicing my own opinion. But I do understand the way, like I mentioned earlier, I am an introvert. So when it comes to social gatherings, I tend to hold back a little bit. I don't tend to speak my mind or in a way to not offend anyone. So I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want people to get the wrong impression of me. So I tend to keep stuff to myself. So that's kind of why I have an understanding of why I scored low on that part. And then the second part was we send out surveys to friends and family members. These surveys kind of just rate you where you're at. Whether they think you're vocal, whether they think you're lazy or whatever. It asks them several questions, and they kind of just all your friends and family members put their feedback on there, and it's a way for you to create a plan of action on where you think you're lacking based on this skill. Um, and then based on this skill, where I seem to be lacking was the communicating in groups, and it came to shock to where my friends and my family members, my brother or sister-in-law, they all tend to write very confident. He was organized. He speaks clearly. He knows what he's doing. He's professional. And then when it came to my wife, she was a little bit more hard on me, but she's the one that knows me the best. I spend 24 hours a day with her, 24/7. So she knows me inside and out. And it was very different, from a perspective from someone who I don't live with 24/7 to with someone who I do live 24/7. And I was trying to get like a balance in between there, because I know I can get away not doing stuff at home, but I know I can't get away with it doing at work or at other gatherings, because I try to pride myself on being the role model. I am the eldest of my family, so I always want to be a positive impact on all my younger siblings, or even their spouses and aunts and uncles and stuff like that. I always want them to be able to reach out to me if needed. Um, with all this feedback, I created a plan of action, and it I've noticed that all the friends that I've made so far, I've never made the first approach. They've always reached out to me, and then we start making we build a relationship based on any similarities that we have, and that kind of just made me think, and how do I incorporate this skill into newer opportunities. And one of the skills or one of the opportunities I decided to do is trying to be more talkative. I was trying to be more talkative, making the first approach. I just moved out here from Texas to California, so we have zero relationships here, and we're trying to build that community around us. So I'm trying to be more approachable, trying to be more talkative. Found that I'm trying to find common ground in order to build these sort of relationships. And one of the things I do is basically just I go to school, pick up my kids, and any parents around there in the same class. Hey, how you doing? How's the weather? Hey, I like that shirt. Just trying to build that communication bridge, so we're whenever we have a gathering, I'm not just alone in the back seeing everybody else have fun. So I want to be incorporated in that, and that way we can keep on building these relationships and having a positive perspective in this skill. And the only way we can benefit from this, you'll have a healthier set of mind. You'll be able to build relationships, and it's only obtainable by communicating in groups. And whether you're an introvert or extrovert, it's a skill that you want to develop, and you want to make sure that you are using it to the best of your ability for a better state of mind and a better social and career relationship connectivity. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate you guys staying through this whole conversation, and we'll be talking.